Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Lethal Venom podcast. This is a show where I talk about anything I want with the honest to God truth, no lies told. We're going to get a little spicy today and potentially canceled. I am going to be revealing some pet peeves that I have and some unpopular opinions that I have that might get me canceled. So sit back and enjoy the shit show that is about to transpire. I don't have a lot of pet peeves. I've had some develop over time, and I want to try to talk about those. A lot of them have transpired over the past few years. I am going to be reading some of your guys' responses. I kind of briefly looked over it, but I'm trying to do it blindly. So I did read some of them, and I do agree with them, and I could probably hints on those. So I might do some tell you mine, and then we'll do the surveys, and then we'll do like an overall thing. One of the first main pet peeves that I have is driving. One of them stems from women. Now, women, I'm going to talk to you guys. I thought this was just an Auburn thing. It's a world thing. Women, y'all can't drive. Y'all cannot drive. And I'm not saying that as mean. I'm saying that as a concerned citizen. Y'all are so addicted to your phones. I cannot tell you how many times I have been sitting at a red light and y'all either I see it happen or it happens to me. Y'all are on y'all's phones, sitting at a red light, and y'all have to get beeped at. I didn't ever have to beat my horn at anybody until I came here. I probably had to do it probably on two hands 5 or 6 times. And it's been mostly women. Now men, y'all have fallen victim to it, but it's mostly girls. It drives me crazy. Another driving one that really gets under my skin is tailgating. I do not want you riding my butt. Don't ride my butt. If I got into an accident or I had to brake hard, there is no chance that y'all will have the same reaction as me and just immediately stop. You are going to slam into me. I don't care if you have cat-like reflexes. It is going to happen. Y'all cannot ride my bumper. Now, sure, if you ride my bumper and then get and pass me to do that and do that to pick up speed, that's fine. But don't just ride my bumper for miles. Another driving one that does get me is, and this is kind of developed at nighttime. Now, when I was growing up, it was common courtesy and basically polite manners that if you're driving at night and you have your headlights on, if you are approaching another vehicle, both vehicles dim your light. Now, it's like people have to drive with their full beam on 24/7. And I've kind of been the asshole in it too, because I dim my lights, but if the other driver does not dim their lights, what I do is, when I get right up on them, I flash them. It's like, if you're going to be a bitch to me, I'm going to be a bitch right back. That's just how it is on the road. And nowadays it's just more normal that people just have their high beams on and they don't even bother or have the decency to lower the exposure of the lights. And I'm just like, can we literally, because I have problems seeing at night. It's now become a problem, and now when you're doubling it on lights, it's just not a good thing. So for the driving things, do not ride my bumper, get off your phone, and dim the lights. Another one comes from my friends a little bit. They have a common occurrence of being bullies on Game Pigeon, and I mean on Crazy 8. Now listen, I get you're trying to win, but do not give me every plus, cancel, reverse card to me. They have literally given me 12 cards in one go because I didn't have a +4 to do 16. They just gang up on me and bully me in the games. And I think they're rigged. This is an unpopular opinion. I think they're rigged. Every game on there is rigged. You cannot tell me any different, especially Cup Pong. That game is so rigged, it makes you want to throw your phone at the wall. It makes you want to punch a window out. It makes you want to bash someone's head in. I've told people, if we play Game Pigeon or iMessage games, do not give me Cup Pong. Do not. Don't do it. Because all that it will do is piss me off and ruin my day. So do not get me Cup Pong. And then do not gang up on me on game and Crazy 8, also known as Uno. Don't do it. Because I'm a competitive person, and this has always been like a red flag for me. I get a little competitive and I get mad when I lose. But if it's every game, they'll still feel sorry for me and do like a +2, or they'll skip me. And I thought, it literally does not make it any better. It drives me up the wall. Another thing that my friends always say to me is, you don't chat. You don't talk. That drives me up the wall, because a conversation happens 2 ways. I do not have to be the first person to text. I don't have to be the first person to call. I don't have to be the first person to snap. It works both ways. It's like everyone just assumes that I should be the one to text you back, and if they don't hear back from me, they unadd me. I thought, you can say hello. You start the conversation. I recently had a best friend that I went to high school with. She was like a very close friend I had. We'd gone through so much stuff together, and when she was in bad relationships, and we went through high school together, she went full psychotic. I think I talked about it in my classmates episode, but she got mad at me because I was always the one that got mad at her for not saying hey. And I thought, you could say hey. It's a thing where if I don't say anything, they won't reach out. That's just the honest truth. They think that I have to be the one to say anything. And then people get mad at me for not talking, and I thought, well, and some people expect you to write like a 10-page essay. Like if I say hey, if they said hey, and I say hi, and they say how are you, and I reply back nothing much, how about you? And then they say nothing, and I could be like, cool. They said, you don't talk much. I thought, what do you want me to do, write you a 10-page essay about what I'm doing? I mean, some responses only require a one-worded answer. 2 words. An emoji. They don't expect a full-on, detailed report. I'm telling you, some of these people want you, when you say hey and they say hey back, if you don't say no more than 2 words, they just say that you're short-spoken. And I'm just like, well, what you asked only deserved a one-worded answer. It's like, what do you want me to say? I just don't some people are so weird about that, and then they get jealous, and then here's another thing that I get canceled. This is probably going to get me canceled. I don't like how people fall instantly in love, or they, after saying hey, and then you say hey back, and then they'll be like, oh my god, I want to marry you. I'm like, whoa. Now, tell me, what, did I use a special letter when I said hey? Did I put like an extra Y at the end? I don't understand these people that fall instantly in love with me, or just fall instantly in love, because all that's going to sign up for you, and that's all what it's going to come down to, is you're going to get hurt at the end. And then who looks like the asshole? Me, because you did that to yourself. I don't care if it hurts your feelings. You should not fall for someone that quickly. I could be a murderer. I could be a rapist. I could be a serial killer. You don't know anything about me. I could have a huge prison record. I could be transitioning into somebody. I mean, you just can't fall in love with me over hi. And then it's the same people that fall instantly in love with me that literally don't do anything, like come visit me, or they don't ever fulfill their thing. I'm like, if you were so madly in love with me, you would be on a plane coming to me instantly. You would be getting in your car and you would be coming here. I've had some people literally say, "Oh my lord, you are the best person I've come to," and I said, "Well, come visit." 2 or 3 years go by and they have still yet. And I'm like, you say that you're madly in love with me, but yet you've not done anything to show it. You know, it's, and then I get petty and I do the same thing right back. I'm like, mess with me and I'm gonna fuck you back harder. And I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna have a bigger weapon. It. I just don't get it, because all that's gonna do is that it's gonna hurt your feelings, and you're gonna get hurt, and then who else then you're gonna go complain to somebody that I'm this awful shitty person, all because for something that you did. That's literally how the cycle's gonna go. I also, for like dating stuff, for people that are in like huge dysfunctional relationships, how they are so like long lasting. I have had a friend. He was in a very abusive relationship with his boyfriend, and his boyfriend really was abusive toward him. I don't know physically, but mentally he was, and he was very controlling. He basically had his boyfriend made him not want to be friends with any of us. He had to cut ties with everyone he was friends with. We can't be friends with. And I just don't get people that are in these relationships that are in such miserable pain, how they stay with them. I don't get it. I had girls from high school do the same thing. You could be showing and showcasing facts, and you could be showing evidence about why this person's so shitty, why this person treats you like trash, and they're like, but I still love him. I'm like, well then fine, bitch. If you want to get hurt, get hurt. I'm tired of trying to help you. It gets frustrating when you're trying to be the good friend and when you're trying to help them and they don't listen to you. It literally drives you up the wall. And then they'll come back and say, why didn't y'all say anything? I'm like, bitch, I tried warning you from the get-go. I've been trying to tell you this for years, and you don't listen to me. So, and it makes me not feel as sympathetic towards them, because it could have been prevented. This whole thing could have been prevented if you would have listened to me and listened to anybody. And my brain always just goes, why do you stay? Why do you stay? Because there could be someone out there that could be giving you 10 times more respect and give you much more love than this piece of trash is. But yet you think this is the only person for you. And this goes for anyone that's in an abusive relationship. Don't stay, get out. I don't care if you think that you can't find someone else. Listen, a snake could treat you better than that piece of trash. Point blank period. I get so tired of hearing like, oh, he's such a bad person. I'm just like, shut up. You have the opportunity to leave. You have the opportunity to leave. You just don't want to. And I'm like, it's the dick too good. And then sometimes it's like, it's the pussy too good. I mean, that's what it falls down to. The sex is too good to give up. I mean, unless someone can prove me wrong, then please prove me wrong. But some of y'all think I think some people just stay in it for the sex. And that's it. Another thing that gets me about, and I thought that this would never happen to me, but I full on witnessed this. Okay, this could get me canceled, but it's just a question that I have. Girls, if you fall victim to a situation where you're manipulated, why do you wait to tell somebody? And I've seen this it happens on the news all the time, how these women come forward and then it's something that happened 25 years ago, and in the back of my mind I've always been like, why did you wait 25 years to say something? I thought if something like that happened to me, everyone would know. And I get that some people might not want to hear that, may not believe you. I think it'd be better to at least tell somebody instead of keeping it bottled up for years and years on hand. And I actually witnessed this in person, and I never thought I'd witness this. When I did group therapy here at Auburn, there was a girl that was in our therapy sessions that came to group one day and was telling us about a situation that happened to her. And then the question, I think either I asked or someone else in the group said was, well, she kind of was like, given like weird vibes, and she just, the a man was making her uncomfortable. And then someone asked, well, did you go tell somebody? And she said no. And I thought, oh my God. Literally, why are you not going to anyone and saying anything? I never thought that I would witness this, especially in like 2025. I thought, really? Really? If I saw something that was unsafe, if I saw something that was just downright not right, I would tell somebody. The whole world would know. Y'all killing me not telling anybody. And when she said that, I thought, there's no way I just heard that you didn't tell nobody. I thought, really? Really? And then you don't... my blood pressure's gonna rise. I don't care what kind... If it's something minor, tell somebody. Don't keep it bottled up and don't hide it. Tell somebody. I don't care if it's a plant. If it's your dog. If it's someone you don't know. Just tell somebody. It's better to tell them and let them know than keeping it bottled up. Because if you keep it bottled up, this will just keep happening to you and keep happening to you until something happens to that person. And you cannot tell me otherwise. Lord, I personally think that's all the main ones I had. Now, could these survey entries trigger more? Highly possible. But I think I'm going to go ahead and move on to the surveys because it might trigger some more ideas out there. So I sent a survey out to my social media accounts saying that it was for pet peeves. And I said, in this episode, I will be talking about some things that drive me crazy and make my skin crawl. I would love to hear some of your pet peeves by filling out the following survey. I got 11 responses, so this is what some of you guys considered drives you crazy. And I can see if I agree. So the first one that I have, and the only question I had to ask was, what is your biggest pet peeve? That was literally all you had to answer. This person said, people being late for no good reason. I feel like that's more of a normalized thing now. I don't like to be late, but it tends to just happen. I don't really get mad if someone's 5 or 10 minutes late because I've done the same thing. So it would be hypocritical of me to get mad at somebody for doing something that I have fully done. Now, if they wait 30 minutes or more and just don't show up, then that's where I would get it. But, I mean, if they're late 5 minutes, I don't really think that's such a bad thing. And then, for no good reason, I mean, everyone has a reason. I mean, maybe not, but, I mean, there's no way for you to confirm that they were late. Alright, our next person... Their biggest pet peeve was when I'm being mocked or someone chewing with their mouth open while talking. Mocking for me is more of a... I'm trying to think. I don't know if mocking really drives me up the wall. If it was something very, very specific towards me that was a trigger maybe. And then chewing with your mouth open... I personally have not experienced this because some people are more respectful for that. But I feel like if you talk with your mouth open, I guess you could simply put your hand over your mouth. Like how teachers do all the time when they take like a little bite and they're like... And then they have to put their hand up and do the hand signal. That, I'm like... I feel like you could do that. Also, side note for like school. One thing that made me so mad in school was when the when the teacher would cancel... or like punish the whole class for something a student did. I thought, no ma'am. You're not going to punish the whole class, and especially me, for something that this asshole did. I never understood that. I thought, well, what's the point? Here you have a class full of 20 people. 19 of them are acting very nicely, have not caused you any problems. And then there's one student that is just really... really bad and awful to have in class, but yet when he does something, the whole class gets punished. I've never understood the whole meaning about that. I don't know what kind of lesson they're trying to teach, because I think the lesson that we learned from it is don't act and don't do the stuff he's doing, because all that really does is that person's going to just keep getting and causing trouble to the point where, well, if I get in trouble for it, the whole class has to suffer for it. So I mean, it's no way affecting me. I guess in a way, it's because in their brain, it's, well, I'm taking them down with me. So I think for teachers now, don't punish the whole classroom. Punish certain students. Do not do the whole classroom, because some of us don't do anything, and so yeah, we have to be ridiculed by it. But anyways, this next person kind of touched on something that I did earlier that really makes me mad when people do. And it said lack of communication among adult people. How the fuck are people grown and don't know how to effectively communicate with each other? I mean, it kind of goes back to what I said. Sometimes some conversations and topics don't need an explanation. People get really mad about this one. I just don't get it. Some people are shy and don't talk. So I don't really know what they want from people that are kind of cut to the point, say very few words. I mean, if that bothers you that much, just don't be friends with them. This next person had a similar thing. People chewing with their mouth open. I mean, I feel like I've never really fully extended this. Now, in school, yeah. This next person also said chewing with mouth open. Y'all really get mad when people chew with their mouths open. I didn't know this was such a huge issue. But they did also add scraping utensils on plates and eatery. I mean, paper plates doesn't make that much noise, but now plates on glass and Tupperware and stuff that makes a loud squeaky clawing noise, yeah, it's not a huge pet peeve of mine. If I'm eating and I'm eating soup with a spoon, and if I'm out in a restaurant and I hear someone scraping a bowl, that doesn't make me mad. So it's not really a huge pet peeve for me when I hear scraping. Now, if they're doing it on purpose, then yeah, but I mean, tell me that you're not going to sit there in a restaurant and get every last bit of food. Like, I paid for it. That food's going in my belly. I don't care. This next person said hygiene and disrespect. Hygiene is not a huge pet peeve of mine. Now, do I want to be around someone that stinks all day? No. But, I mean, some people can't help it. And in disrespect, I don't really like people that are disrespectful. But in the sense of, sometimes you have to be disrespectful just so that you can prove a point and to get your point across. I've just gone by that motto, do unto others as you would want to have upon yourself. So for them, if they wanted to be disrespectful, just be disrespectful right back. They can like it or not, but I'm just giving them what they give me. This person, oh my god, mouth chewers. Y'all, just don't be around people that eat, okay? This person said a couple, and then they also said wet socks. Am I odd to where wet socks just doesn't bother me? I mean, sure, your feet get cold and it's uncomfortable, but I've never really witnessed people get full on defensive about it. People get really mad about it. I've heard about people get so frustrated and just furious when their socks get wet. It doesn't bother me. I mean, it's inconvenient, but I mean, it doesn't ruin my day. So this next person said, when people don't pull up far enough and drive through lines / at the stoplight. What? Hold on. Wait a minute. What do you mean not pull up far enough? I didn't know who said that. Literally, who responded with that? Because why is that a problem? Oh my lord. That's like someone... I feel like you would be the same person that would say, if you're standing in a line and someone's not closer to the counter. That's what this gives me. I mean, in a drive-thru, you can go up so far without bumping into one another. And at a stoplight, I don't think the trigger... I think for the stoplight, I think they're mad because they're not close enough for it to sense that there's a car there. But I mean, isn't it operated? Shouldn't there be like a signal that says, oh, there's multiple cars at this light, we need to turn green? I mean... That's an odd one. I'm not gonna lie. I've never heard about that one. Oh, Lord. This one. They said their biggest pet peeve is that LGBT people have to be liberal. Let me take a sip of my tea. Hold on. Do I get mad that a lot of LGBTQ plus people are liberal? No. Do I get mad when they make it their whole personality? Yes. I don't particularly like people that are very political and that they will just walk on you and trample you because you like something that they don't and that you believe in something they don't. This is the main reason why I don't like politics. You will never hear me say anything political on here, but I'll just say this. Don't judge somebody and don't get your whole intuition, or I don't know the right word. Just don't be friends with somebody only because of what they believe in and who they voted for. Because honestly, throw that out the window. You shouldn't rely on, that they vote red or blue. If they voted for the opposite, don't automatically assume that they're trash. Don't. I don't see and that's what a lot there's words. I'm starting to get really riled up again. And I'm friends with a lot of people that do identify as gay. That's my main thing, but I have my own pet peeves about them as well. They are very political. And it's a thing where I do not like talking about anything political with them, because then they'll go on this huge rant for 30-40 minutes. And it's something that didn't even have to trigger a debate. I don't say anything about colors. If the second I say something about the color red, then they go into this whole tangent. And they make the political environment their whole personality. And they judge so hard. They do. If they hear the word Trump, they go into a downward spiral. They go out the window. They have to be admitted into a psych hospital because that's such a trigger word for them. Listen, I don't care who you voted for. I could give two shits. Okay? Like, did I like everything that Biden did? No. Do I like everything Trump did? No. But I'm not going to determine who they voted for as if I want to be friends with them or not. The whole point of a friend is throw out the political stuff. If they're a nice person to you and y'all vibe and agree on other things, I think that should be the main checklist of if you want to be friends. If you base it off of politics, then you're not going to have anybody for yourself except for you, because you're basing it off of their political views. Don't do that. I don't. If I did that, I would have all my friends that were gay. I would not be friends with them if I relied solely on the political opinion. I do not see politics as a reason why I don't want to be friends with them. It's childish for people that do. That it's immature. Grow up. Another thing that they do that really cockiness, and this goes for anybody, but they are so prone to it. They think that they are the best, and I'm like, child, no, ma'am. To me, cockiness is the number one thing that will be a huge red flag that I look for. If you are immediately cocky, out the window you go. Down the street, tossed at the end of the road like trash. You're gone. They think that they are number one, that everyone should follow them and be friends with them and all this stuff. I'm like, that's not going to make you have friends. All that's doing is causing enemies and haters for you. And I mean, in your opinion, you might think that you're getting attention, but you're getting attention not for the good reason. You're getting attention because people hate you, not because they love you. There's so much more I could say about that, but I feel like I could talk for like an hour on it. And I would like to preserve my voice. But they have a lot of guidelines. And one more thing I'll say, and I'll move on. They go by a checklist. Hear me out. This is what their checklist is. Do you go to Pride? Do you like drag queens? Do you watch RuPaul? Do you listen to Lady Gaga? And in any question that's similar to that, it's a checklist that they have. And if you don't check all of them, then you're considered not gay. And I'm like, hold on. Whoa. Because I had one guy that asked me a few questions because he was trying to figure out if I was. And then the one thing I said, I don't watch RuPaul. And it's nothing that I have anything against him. It's just I just don't watch it. And then he was like, "Oh yeah, you're not gay." And I'm like, oh. I thought, was that the cherry on top? I thought just because the cherry didn't get added, I thought, really? Y'all gonna you base it off of that? I mean, you don't see straight people out here like, okay, he has cowboy boots. Mm-hmm. He has a cowboy hat. He has a truck. She has a Rolls Royce. She has hair. She does not have a wig. I mean, we don't have a checklist. We don't. Straight people don't do that. I didn't know that was a thing until I was friends with him. I thought, oh, okay. But just go back to your point, your pet peeve. They can be liberal. Just don't make it your whole personality. Because I'm not going to care what you have to say about that. Someone said their next one is roommate related, but dirty dishes left overnight. Am I the only one that this doesn't really affect? If it wasn't mine, then I don't get mad. My roommates have not really had this. Well, one person kind of has a tendency to do this, but he's not bad about it. The only pet peeve that I have about my roommates is cleanliness. Listen, I'm not good with words. I know I graduated in a degree that involves me speaking and I can't say words. Listen, I'm aware. It's a work in progress. He's messy. We'll say that. And he doesn't typically clean up after himself. But I don't get mad because it's not my mess. If I make a mess, I clean it up. This person, I think, needs to be in a hospital. They said their biggest pet peeve was bodily noises like burps, sneezes, chewing, and breathing is the worst. Ma'am, just say you don't like people that are alive. I mean, what? So, if my heart beats, that's a pet peeve. If I swallow, that's a pet peeve. If I click my tongue, that's a pet peeve. Like, I've never heard of something like that. And breathing, really? That makes me just want to go. I'm surprised you even listening to this podcast is not a huge pet peeve. I mean, my voice makes a bodily noise, so does that mean that I'm pissing you off right now? The second I said hello, did that piss you off? Like, oh my lord. And I've made all kinds of noises in here too. I'm surprised you even listened to the podcast yet. Alright, well, that was the last one. That went pretty good. Now, will I have opinions and pet peeves come up after I'm done? Probably. That tends to happen. But for right now, I think I covered everything. But when it some of the stuff I said could be probably getting me canceled. But it's an opinion. Take with it what you want and do what you want with it. I don't care. But anyways, I appreciate you guys listening to more of a ranty one. This one was crazy because it was just me ranting and getting very riled up. I've noticed when I get riled up that I talk better a little bit. I don't say which and in some instances that doesn't really work. But I tend to do more of the minus when I'm really getting into a good point. And if I'm really on a roll talking, I do not stop or stutter or do any of that. But this went pretty good. I'm happy about it. I mean, you can definitely reach out and tell me any more pet peeves that you have. Social media, if you would like to keep tabs on the podcast and just follow and see some updates and whatnot, you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok. They're both Lethal Venom Podcast. I think they're that. You think by as many episodes as I've done by now, I would remember my handle name? Wrong. wrong. I still don't know anything from it. I think it's Lethal Venom. Yeah, it's Lethal Venom Podcast on TikTok and Instagram. Follow me on there. Stay tuned for the surveys on there that come periodically. You can also follow me on my personal stuff. My personal Instagram, The Noah Show, with 3 W's at the end on Instagram and TikTok. I also post the surveys on those accounts as well. So just be on the lookout for those. And if you miss it, just check the there's a highlight that I've made that's designated for the surveys. Just check that, and they're all there. Some of them, the earlier ones, are probably closed because by the time the episode posts, I usually close or initially I typically delete the survey. So the more recent ones that are shown on there are the ones that are active. The podcast is available in a lot of places now. You can catch it on Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. I'm also on Pandora, and it's on YouTube as well. I have some other podcasts out there that you are more than welcome to listen to. Southern Reads, a book podcast that is designated for book lovers. If you're a person that likes to read or know someone that likes to read, it's a good podcast for them. Another one is fairly new. It's Music Talks. It's a music podcast. It's technically a music album analysis breakdown. If you like music, that's a good podcast for you. And they're available on the same platforms as I mentioned. Basically, wherever you get your podcasts, it's there. I think that's all I have to add. I think I'm not sure about any other podcast episodes that are coming out. I've got some stockpiled, and well, here's what we'll do. I can look at the recent forum ones and actually tell you guys. So I do have one centered on 2000s. I have that. I have let's see, roommates. I have an episode about roommates coming out. So those are just some of the ideas that I have. If you have any podcast ideas or any concerns, questions, feedback, and whatnot, you feel free to email me, lethalvenompod@gmail.com. Just make sure in the subject line preface what you're sending an email about, so I'll know exactly why you're emailing me about, and so I don't get confused. I had something in my mind and it went away. What was it? Well, crap. I feel like I had something important. Hold on. There's something with email. I can't remember now. Crap. If I remember it, I'll put it in the description box. But thank you guys so much for listening. I do appreciate it. And I hope y'all are having a great day. Stay safe out there. And I will catch you all in the next episode of Lethal Venom.